Times now has accessed a copy of the charge sheet filed in the Jiah Khan death probe. The Sessions Court had pulled up the CBI for leaking details of the charge sheet that was being filed. But now the entire copy is at Times Now's perusal. It very clearly spells trouble for Sooraj Pancholi, especially with the angle of abetment to suicide. Niranjan joins us from the newspate with more details. Niranjan, you have a copy of the charge sheet. What does it say?
Yes, I have a copy of the charge sheet, Arnab, at least 30 pages of the charge sheet with us, and just taking you through some of the details. In fact, we'll go across to Kajal, who will tell us exactly what's in the charge sheet and what it could mean for Sooraj Pancholi. But I want to read out a few excerpts from the charge sheet, Arnab, that goes on to nail Sooraj Pancholi's role and exactly what we've been saying. In fact, we've been reporting on source-based information, but we got a chance to read the charge sheet. Is the first reading. On the basis of forensic psychological assessment and behavioral analysis interview, it may be inferred that Sooraj Pancholi is hiding some relevant information related to death/suicide of Jiah Khan and did not want to disclose. And I think we can show the charge sheet if we can just show the charge sheet. This is what it says. It says Sooraj Pancholi is hiding some relevant information related to suicide of Jiah Khan and did not want to disclose some content of his last argument with deceased that may be a cause of her death or suicide. So this is what the charge sheet says. In fact, I also have the series of texts that were exchanged between Sooraj Pancholi and Jiah Khan just days before her death. And just before we show you the details of the SMS exchange between the two actors, the charge sheet also reads that investigation revealed about forensic statement analysis on the note written by the deceased Jiah Khan is that on the basis of forensic statement analysis, it's been inferred that handwritten notes/letters of the deceased represent her mental status genuinely. These notes or letters reveal the circumstances and reasons behind her suicide. So, one, they refer to the forensic report, and two, they back it up by saying that Sooraj Pancholi has been hiding some relevant information and did not disclose content. And in fact, we also have details of what the investigation has revealed. It says that the note written by the deceased Jiah Khan establishes that the accused Sooraj Pancholi ruined her life. This is what the CBI charge sheet says. It says, investigation reveals note written by Jiah Khan establishes that the accused Sooraj Pancholi ruined her life. The false promises given by the accused to the deceased as mentioned in the said note that you promised me once we made it to 1 year we would get engaged. Believing to be engaged made her an emotional attachment towards the accused. The willful conduct of the accused drove the deceased to commit suicide. Hence, the accused is liable for his actions to be punished for the willful conduct and abetment of suicide. So this is an upcoming actor, Sooraj Pancholi, a budding actor who could now face more trouble.
Niranjan, as you hold up that charge sheet for us and you point out more aspects, we've got Kajal Iyer also with us on the phone, so let's bring her in also. Kajal, you've had time to peruse through the charge sheet. Does it very clearly, the CBI charge sheet, make a case for suicide and also nail Sooraj Pancholi's role in terms of as an abettor? And does it dismiss the homicide theory altogether? Because there are still a lot of people who believe that Jiah Khan was so drunk that she could not have stood up to hang herself.
Yes, Anand, in fact, the entire charge sheet is very ambiguous about certain of the forensic evaluations, especially because when I got the charge sheet some time ago, we went through it and we were speaking to a set of lawyers, and we were also trying to get in touch with Jiah Khan's mother. And when we spoke to both her lawyer and herself, what they mainly pointed out was that while there were certain SMSs that have been reproduced, there were other forensic evidence with respect to, say, the ligature marks and everything that was found when her body was found. They have been very inconclusive. In fact, the charge sheet goes on to say that there is an analysis by the medical team that was done, and this medical team says that we have not found any signs of struggle. So perhaps homicide could be ruled out, but we will also have to study the nature of the ligature marks and other aspects before we can say that homicide can be completely ruled out. But after this, the charge sheet goes on to also say that the officer then concluded that she was suicidal, and that could be one of the reasons why this incident occurred. So very diverse reasons given at every point of time. At the same time, when it comes to Sooraj Pancholi, though, there are specific points in the charge sheet where it is said that Sooraj Pancholi actually has been fabricating and lying. There are at least there is mention of at least 2 different psychological evaluation tests, psychological statements done by psychological forensic experts where they have clearly said that Sooraj Pancholi was fabricating statements. Sooraj Pancholi was not giving them the full information, and there were aspects that, like Niranjan just read out, there were aspects about the conversation that he had with Jiah Khan on that last fateful day that he wanted to hide. There were several other aspects also that have been brought in this particular case, but most importantly, Sooraj does have something to hide. That is something that the charge sheet at least seems to be very clear on, despite the fact that they have given very ambiguous data on whether or not they are considering this a homicide or a suicidal case. But as of now, the CBI has, of course, only charged Sooraj under IPC Section 306, which only talks about abetment to suicide. So that is the charge that he's currently facing, and that is a charge for which his lawyers are also preparing. There are several SMSs exchanges that are as attached as in the annexure to the charge sheet. There are also various other conversations that they have. They have also, in fact, got hold of all the gifts that have been exchanged between two of them, all the writings in those gifts, the letters that they have exchanged, details of the phone calls that have been made, and all of these have been attached as part of the annexure. All of these will be revealed in due course of time, and of course Sooraj will be asked to answer based on what these SMS exchanges and other things reveal. Now, of course, there is also the fact that what is not shown in this particular exchange is the BDM conversations that both Jiah and Sooraj had at that particular day, because it seems that once the conversation got out of hand, Sooraj deleted Jiah Khan off his BBM. So there are, of course, certain messages that were probably there in Jiah Khan's phone, which will also be part of the annexure or could probably be produced at a later date. BBM being a very difficult thing to be encrypted and then brought back. But these are very crucial points that they are actually talking about. The main point the charge sheet stresses on is that Sooraj has something to hide.
Yes.
What is that? That will be the challenge for the investigators to prove.